So I thought I'd do something a little bit different here. Everyone at this time of year is doing their top 10 favorite figures or their top 10 disappointments. I'm just going to show you all the Mezco figures I got that came in this calendar year. Some of these might be a little older, but I got them this calendar year, so that's why they're in this review. And I'm just going to go through them and go from my least favorite to my favorite. And I'd be curious to see the feedback on this, to see if you guys agree or disagree, what you think about the pros and cons of some of these. So just go through them real quick. I got the Fantastic Four set, which just came in a couple weeks ago. Um, and then Mr. Freeze, he came in finally after like a 3-year wait. Mr. Freeze showed up this year earlier, maybe in summertime. And then the Zack Snyder Justice League set came in November, I believe. The 3-pack set, tin box. And then the Superman Man of Steel edition, it's a comic book version of Superman, came in April. And then this Gotham, a Gaslight, just came in a couple days ago. I've got a review for him up recently. And then here is the Keaton Batman, which is kind of what started my toy review, because I was kind of frustrated when I got him, and I kind of have a not so nice review up. I've since grown to like him a little bit more. He's not without his issues, but there he is in a flight pose. And then this Gomez, this is an old figure that was not released this year. I think he was released in 2021 during their summer Comic-Con. And I've never got a Gomez figure ever. A Gomez is like Mezco's mascot, and this is like an IP they've created with Gomez figures, Rumble Society figures. He kind of started that. And there's like tons of different types of Gomez. This one's like a James Bond style. And I always missed out on Gomez for one reason or another. And this was the one I wanted to get. And I forgot that he was up for pre-order. And so I put in a wait list. And like a year after I put the wait list in, they sent him to me. I couldn't believe it. I mean, it was like almost a year and a half after this thing released, I got waitlisted and got it. So he's here because I got him literally in January of this year. So it's still this calendar year. So again, here's my collection of Mezco for the year. I definitely downscaled this year, downsized this year. I didn't get as many Mezco as I would have in the past, but there's still a fair amount of figures here. So what I'm going to do now is start off with my least favorite. I like all of these, just so I can say. Some a lot more than others. Some disappointing features, but I'm going to go with my least favorite and then finish off with my favorite, if I can figure that out. So stand by. Least favorite coming up. All right, so here's my least favorite release that I got from Mezco this year. I have a video up for these guys. I think for me, I'm not a huge Snyder guy. The movies are okay. In fact, I watched his release of Justice League just the other night for the second time after skipping it for a year and a half the first time. And I actually liked it a lot more the second time. But with that said, it's still not my favorite. The Snyderverse is about dead now, but that's not the reason why these figures were my least favorite. It just, for the main one's the Flash. As you can see his chest torso there, he has no mid-range mobility, no articulation there. So you can't get any good poses with him for running. And he only has 2 head sculpts, both masked, no unmasked version. I don't know if there was a licensing thing they couldn't get, but he was by far probably the weakest Mezco figure next to the Netflix Daredevil figure from some years ago. This is probably my least favorite Mezco figure. The Batman turned out good, except they changed the suit. The suit was originally in the promo pics kind of a material. And this is more like a pleather type, which doesn't look bad, but watching the movie again, his suit's not that light in the movie, at least that I thought. But I mean, it's a good figure, probably the best one in this group, and it comes with some good amount of accessories. And then finally, Superman. The Henry Cavill head sculpt's not bad. The suit looks good. I think his feet are a bit big, in my opinion, but that's just me. Another problem with his set is all the pigment in the faces are all kind of orange. If I zoom in, it's the camera, you can see it a little bit in the camera, but it's got some seriously orange pigment in all these faces, and it just kind of throws it off in person, especially Cavill. It's almost like that fake tan thing going on. But anyway, I still like the set. At first I thought I was going to get rid of it, but I think I'm going to keep it. I don't have room to display my entire collection now. I'm gonna start rotating stuff. But these guys will probably be in rotation eventually. But this is my least favorite so far. Okay, the next one in line is Mr. Freeze. I love all the Batman villains. I wish they would do more. I'm looking for a Penguin and Riddler from Mezco. This guy, like the Keaton Batman, we waited 3 years for this guy. And he does look awesome. He does look super awesome. There's like faux flocking, like snow, like ice. It's like flocked, which is really cool. They did a great job in the details of this guy. He's got a light up function, which is weird. It does these lights, but not all of them. These two top lights don't turn on, and his eyes don't turn red. I thought for sure he would have like some lighting in his eyes for his glasses. But the biggest problem with this figure is articulation. The suit is awesome, but it's his articulation is restricted. For example, this big gun, which looks awesome, and there is batteries in this, I believe. He can hold it, but barely. I can get it with two hands. I've seen someone on YouTube do it, but it was a challenge. Awesome weapon, just doesn't hold it good. And then these pipe, this wire here, really had a hard time plugging that in. The Baron Benz one, if you have Baron Benz, those were super easy to put in. This one was a challenge. I don't know why that is. I still like this figure. The base is cool. He comes in an awesome round tin display box, which is really awesome. Again, I like this figure. I like all my Mezco figures, so it's tough to say this is, in the order of least to greatest. He's so low because I love Freeze. But with these other releases, this is where he sits. All right, next up, and this pains me to say it, is the Keaton 89 Batman. As a kid who grew up in the 80s and who wasn't into Batman until this movie came out, this movie brought Batman to me. And I've loved Batman ever since. So this movie has a big story in my life for me liking Batman. And the problem with this release, there's amongst many, you'll probably see on YouTube if you look at some reviews, is that it took 3 years. That's one problem. And then they used a rubber suit with silicone and a metal armature skeleton, which I've had no problems with, but I haven't posed him that much. The main problem is the cape. The cape looks great here in this gliding pose, but if you have him standing, it doesn't drape. It like flops out because there's not enough wires. They skipped seam lines for these wires. If they would have had a wire in each seam line, it probably would have worked. But you can't get him to look with the cape down like he would in the movie, which is disappointing. There's 4 head sculpts, which all turned out really good. One of them has a moving eyes, which mine is wonky. Mezco sent me a new one, but they sent me the wrong head, so I still have a wonky head. The eyes don't turn right on mine for the turning eyes, but I don't know. I think another problem with me was I ordered this thing day one, and people that were on the wait list got theirs before me. So that was just kind of a bad customer experience that kind of put me in a bad mood when mine finally arrived. But, I did put 303 on this because another problem was they shipped it with powder, with coating, and a lot of the people's were gray. I put 303 on this, and that was back in, I think, when I got this one in April or June or something. And I've got no problem with it. It's not really tacky. It's not degrading. And it made that black come out look really nice. So I haven't displayed on my Detolf like this because I think it's a cool look. But to have him stand, unless you get a different cape. But I love the leather cape. It's like he had it in the movie, but it just won't drape right. So yeah, just some issues with this. I mean, on a given day, this would be my favorite figure ever. I don't have any Keaton Batman figures at all. And so this was a big deal to me, and just kind of let down by this release. All right, next up is the comic version of Superman, the second one that Mezco's done. This is the Man of Steel edition. It comes in a tin box, and man, this thing, I just did a review for this as well. It's up on YouTube. It's an awesome figure. I love it. Some people complain about how the cape is sewn in the top there. Mine doesn't seem to have a problem with that. It's not bad. And he comes with so many accessories. He has like, I think, 7 heads. The look, it's like comic accurate. The stand is awesome. Everything about this if you're a Superman fan, is awesome in my opinion. Even has the logo on the back there, printed on. So I was really pleasantly surprised with this. He does have a light up head with the eyes light up, and a bunch of different versions of faces, smiling, angry, you name it, he's got it. So this is a really great release. I have the Christopher Reeve Superman, and I'm going to eventually put this guy up on my display once I reorganize my displays. But yeah, great figure, great release. I loved it. All right, next up is a release I just got this week. It's Batman Gotham by Gaslight, which if you check my review out, you'll see it in depth on it. But it's, you know, pretty much Victoria era, boy, Batman, like 1889. It's an Elseworld story, kind of like a multiverse. But I got a couple extra accessories on him, like those grenades and this lantern came from the Victorian Vigilante accessory pack from about a year or two ago. So he doesn't come with those, but I think this is a great look. He comes with a glider. If you see my review, the glider actually turned out really good. I like it a lot. I'll probably display him with the glider once I get him in here. The reason why this isn't higher up on the list is this right leg is super loose. Out of the box, super loose. I've never had a Mezco figure with a loose joint ever, especially out of the box. So that's disappointing that happened. And that belt, the belt comes off way too easy. It's very challenging to keep it on, at least in my way I've done it. So there's only a couple knocks in this figure, and those are them. But the rest of this figure is amazing, absolutely amazing. Love this release from Mezco. Him and the Gaslight Joker that came out a couple years ago are a nice pairing side by side. All right, next up is Gomez, Agent Gomez, Secret Agent Gomez. And, you know, if you have this figure, you likely got him 2 years ago. As I said at the beginning of this video, I missed out when he came out in 2021 at their Mezco Con in the summer. I missed him. I got in the wait list. And like literally at the end of last year, they said, yeah, your wait list has been fulfilled. And he came in January of this year. So I got him this calendar year. I cannot believe the wait list worked out. I've had 2 wait lists work out now, and that's one of them. The other ones I've put on wait lists, I've never seen anything happen. So I was super excited to get this guy, which is why he's so high up, because he comes with so much. If I back out a little bit, he comes in this tin here. Secret Agent Gomez in Rebel Society's Casino La Cucaracha. And it comes with a bunch of stuff, some 5-point articulation figures, a backdrop, I think a poker chip. There's a bunch of stuff in here it comes with. But this Gomez, I'm only showing him with a cocktail and the pistol with a silencer. He has tons and tons of accessories. I think 2 head sculpts, I think. And then he has like the boombox. He has the hoverboard with all these jets and weapons and anything a secret agent like James Bond you can think of. In fact, look at his shoe down here. He has the little knife point come out. That's actually retractable. On the bottom of his shoe, you pull back his heel, and the knife point can retract. So it's little things like that. He has the acid watch. I mean, all this cool stuff. Like if this was James Bond, this is what he would come with. So I absolutely love this set. I haven't played with it enough. I need to get him out and displayed. As I said, my display is in dire need of a remake. I have to change it up, but he will be displayed very shortly. All right, and here's the winner. My favorite set of the year, the Fantastic Four steel box set. I have a review out on YouTube, and I'm a relatively new at doing this, as you can tell. I don't have the best setup, not yet. But that review has over 3,000 views, which blew me away. In that review, I talk about how much I love Fantastic Four. I grew up with the comics as a kid, my favorite Marvel characters. And for Mezco to hit these out of the park the way they did, for the most part, I'm still blown away. I mean, look at Mr. Fantastic with all his bending, all that, his whole body bends. Johnny, that base lights up, his head lights up. He's throwing fireballs. Herbie comes with a bunch of stuff. Sue Storm, while it's on the Catwoman body, it's a big negative. She has these, you know, cool effect pieces for shields. And then Ben with this bendable Yancey street light, and he comes with an iron girder that bends and a bunch of head sculpts. The accessories for this pack is phenomenal. I'd say my only knock on this set is one, the Catwoman body for Sue. Johnny not having a full-on flame-on body. They should have provided the flame-on body, maybe instead of having Herbie. And then Reed with a lab coat. I would have loved to have a white lab coat for Reed when he's normal size. Those are the two minor knocks I have on this set. Everything else is pretty good. These are kind of heavy for her to hold up. I'm actually using that white rod, which is for Johnny for a fireball, but it's working out for Sue right now. We'll see if her body holds up to the weight of that. And then Johnny, this fireball effect is pretty heavy and it kind of falls down. But, you know, that's just minor stuff. Other than that, this set is really awesome. I mean, look at Ben bending that Yancey Street sign. Sue protecting the team. Little Herbie, he's got a little portable lab with test tubes that come out, a whole bunch of different stuff, a supercomputer inside there that opens up. So now I'll say this. This is my favorite Mezco release of the year that came this calendar year for me. There's two figures I have still coming, and the main one, which should have been here by now, is Doom, Dr. Doom. I'm so bummed. Like, people are showing reviews online, and mine's still processing. And I begged Mezco for years to make a Doom. I DM'd them way too much. Probably embarrassing to say that, but I just couldn't wait for a Doom. And I'm still waiting. So he's going to be a figure for next year for me, unfortunately. And I have one more coming from BBTS. I'm not going to spoil who that is. It's out to ship, so probably by next week I'll have that up for a review. But yeah, this is my review of the Mezco figures that I got this calendar year. Give me your thoughts. You know, which figures did you get? Which figures did you like the most? Which ones didn't you like? Do you agree with my order? Do you think I'm crazy for not liking the 89 Batman as much as I do? Or the Snyder cut versions? Let me know. And then, you know, I'm trying to grow the channel. So if you like what you're seeing, you like this, you know, give it a like, especially a comment. I love to engage with people talking about this kind of stuff, geeking out. And then subscribe if you want. I'm going to try and grow this thing and get a better background, all this kind of stuff. But I gotta do some work here with my collection room. There's a lot going on right now. There's some behind me too that's just a mess. So I gotta get in order. Maybe I'll do a collection room tour one of these days. But thanks for watching. I appreciate it.